Hey and welcome to the FF1600 guide for the Rookie Series on Virginia South in iRacing. I'm gonna be honest with you, you will need a thick skin for this combination because the fixed setup is extremely understeery and not very pleasant to drive. It's drivable and you will get used to it, but you will need to be patient in almost every turn because the car simply doesn't want to turn around here. You can practice against my ghost car like in all other guides. You can find the lab files on a community Discord, which is linked in the description down below, where you can also find all information about my coachings. Feel free to check them out. Approach the first turn on the left edge of the track and use the marshal post on the left side as marker for braking. Hit the brakes and prepare to shift down into second gear. Trail brake into the turn and aim for a wide entry. We want to hit a late apex, which means that you want to enter the turn a bit wide and get close to the inside curb when you are back on the throttle and about to exit the turn again. Attack the inside curb when you are about to exit, get back on the throttle, but be patient. The car is extremely understeery, which means that you will need to wait until you leave the curb before you can go flat out again. Position the car on the right edge of the track and hit the brakes as soon as you reach the dip. You want to shift down into second gear and focus on hitting the blind apex. You can use the end of the curb on the right as turn and point marker, but the best secret for this turn is practice. After a few laps you should be able to get a good feeling for it, which will make it doable to consistently hit the apex. Attack the inside, and I'm also giving the throttle a soft touch here. The soft throttle input increases the grip on the rear, which makes it easier to turn the car through this downhill section. Attack the inside again, and I'm always increasing the pressure on the throttle for a moment, always when I want to give the car a soft push into a certain direction. In this case I want to push it further along the inside to get a nice and wide entry into the last left-hander. Once you leave the right-hander, you want to immediately transition onto the brakes and trail brake into the entry of the left-hander. Get back on the throttle, attack the inside curb and be patient again. The understeer of the car will make the exit extremely tight, so you want to avoid being too aggressive on the throttle, because that will lead to a wide exit which you can't recover. Stick to the left edge and use the dark spot on the track as marker for braking. Hit the brakes hard and shift down into first gear. You want to turn in very late, but there's nothing special which you need to keep in mind. Simply follow the dark racing line on the track and stick to its left edge. Attack the inside curb, and since we have a long straight ahead of us, you want to be as early on the throttle as possible, but keep in mind that the car will understeer on the exit again. So you will need to find a good trade-off between being early and aggressive on the throttle and still being able to make the exit. The next turn can be tricky if your line is too tight. Avoid any issues by sticking to the wide line and hit a wide entry, which allows you to take the turn flat out. I couldn't find any advantages by using the fourth gear. The third gear is equally quick and it makes the last turn way easier, so just stay in third. Tap the brakes when you reach the 200 meter board and focus on the last turn. You want to hit a very smooth line, which includes both smooth inputs on the pedals and smooth inputs on the wheel. As you can see it on my wheel, the entry will be quite tricky because you will need to countersteer a lot when you want to drive the car at the limit. Just keep this in mind. The harder you brake, the less you will be able to turn because the car will want to spin. So whenever you feel like you are losing it, you have two options. You can either decrease the pressure on the brakes, which gives you more freedom on the wheel, or you can open the wheel again and aim for a slightly wider line to catch the car. Shift into second once you clear the first inside curb and aim for a clean entry onto the main straight. Have fun with the Cockpit Lap. I want to thank you for your support and wish you all the best, and see you next time.